What's going on, everybody? This is going to be an interesting video. I'm going to dive into some things here that are going to be a little different, but hopefully you get something out of it. So, yesterday is Thanksgiving, and I was talking to my younger brothers um, about some of the things that we dealt with growing up, and just where we are now, just different stuff. It's a great conversation. But I really wanted to highlight a point that was brought up in that conversation. Um, my brothers and I, we've been through a lot, and there are people who haven't necessarily always had our best interests at heart. And in that conversation yesterday, one of my brothers referred to one of those people as almost like a psychic, like vampire, or some kind of like witch type, you know characterization for this person because of the different mental games um that were played by this person. And personally, I don't hold grudges anymore. I let that go. I know what pain that leads to for you. So for me, this isn't a bashing anybody or anything like that, but I really want to hammer home the point that we all have encountered someone who, for whatever reason, um, they don't like you, or whatever the case may be, but it seems like their intent is to cause you harm. And if you're a child and you can't necessarily pull yourself away from them, then yeah, that can be really, really damaging. But when you grow up and you're out on your own, and you see that certain behaviors and certain patterns repeat themselves in your life, and you see that you have certain beliefs about yourself as a result of your interactions with a person, um, and that you're not operating to your full capacity simply because of the things that you've encountered with said person. Um, there's a book called The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz, where he dives into a bit of this. He calls it the mitote, this being that like follows you from childhood. That's a accumulation of all of the things that other people have put on you. And he doesn't dive into this in his book, but there was another book that I read called Thought Forms. I can't remember the author, but it it provides pictures of some of the thought forms that are created by people. So like, you got to understand this: when you think, and if you understand that your thoughts are frequencies, you're sending out a vibration whenever you think a thought. Understand that there are planes that you can't see. And in addition to your thoughts being frequencies and sending out a vibration, there are forms that are created when you think something. So, for instance, a pretty girl walks into a bar, and five guys all have, whatever, romantic thoughts about her. She feels that. She can feel it. It can manifest itself as, her like clovering up a bit because she feels a bit uncomfortable because all of these thought forms are trying to penetrate her space. Or she may like it, different things like that. Or if somebody is really, really angry and they're trying to mask it, but that thought form is penetrating your energy, you can feel it. You know that this person is angry. You know that this person has ill will in their heart, or whatever the case may be, because they don't have to say anything. The thought form does it for them. So when it comes to you know trauma and pain, you got to understand that as a kid, you don't necessarily have protective barriers that you could potentially have as an adult. So when somebody is sending you negative thought forms, they're just, you know, penetrating and taking hold, and you don't even know what type of poison is let in until, it starts to manifest itself in other ways in your life. So for me, my healing journey has really been about monitoring and governing my thoughts. And I've contemplated this idea of thought forms for a really, really long time. And I'm gonna go really, really deep. I'll probably reread that book and do like just like a really deep, like iceberg type video on it, because it's so fascinating. And I really, when it comes to um the nature of this reality and how your mind creates, your world, your experience here, thought forms to me are almost like, if life is a game of chess, then thought forms are all of the pawns. And for me, if you can understand how thought forms operate and become sensitive to it, your life changes. Like, just for me personally, with the knowledge that I have about thought forms, I've seen my interactions with people change as a result of understanding thought forms. And when I feel certain things, if I'm out at a grocery store, or I'm just, going on a walk or something like that, and I, you know, have a certain sense of something, and I look around and, there's a group of people staring at me or something like that, okay, I understand what that is. Maybe they saw me, they were talking about me, sending thought forms my way. They could have been good. Maybe if they're good normally, then you'll let them in. And if they're bad, then, you push them out. But the thought forms are so interesting. You know, they, in terms of like religion and prayer and stuff like that, there are all types of sayings like, "Oh, the mother's prayer is what's keeping me, alive, keeping me functioning, sending blessings my way, and all this kind of stuff." And while I'm not religious in that sense, when you understand thought forms, you can see the truth behind that. If a parent is sending positive thought forms to their children, sending thought forms of protections, thought forms of guidance, thought forms of love. And because those are positive thought forms, they are able to penetrate the child's barrier, and they're or if the kid is grown, whatever the case may be. But it's literally that parent sending out protective guides for that kid. And here's the thing, we all can do this. When we wake up in the morning, your first thought can be sending out, a protective barrier for yourself. Just having that thought and creating a mental image of protection all around you, of, encasing yourself in love, and that only things that serve your highest good are able to penetrate your sphere. You can do that for yourself, and you can do that for other people. You can do that for people that you love, people that you don't know. You can do it for strangers walking down the street. Just send them a positive thought, send them love. See their face in your mind's eye, and just, and I don't mean this in a romantic sense when I say it, but see their face in your mind's eye and just see their beauty, see their love, see their uniqueness, and just send that to them. Send them thoughts of them achieving their highest goal, of them being the best version of themselves. And trust me, it may take some time. It can happen quick, but you'll see things start to change for you. You'll see things start to pick up for you. Because here's the thing, people always have a choice whether or not to accept or reject the thought form. If somebody says something to you, you have a choice to accept or reject whatever it is that they said. So if you send somebody something and they choose to reject it, whether it was positive or not, guess where it's coming? It's coming right back to you. Just as well, if you send negative thoughts where somebody did something to you and, oh, I wish this happens to them, I hope that this happens to them, I hate this person, that this needs to happen, those are negative. And if they reject it, which more than likely they will, guess where it's coming? It's coming right back to you, and that'll manifest itself in the form of sickness and different stuff that are just, it's not pleasant. That's where it comes into where people say, if you dig a ditch for someone, you're really digging it for yourself. um that's what it's all about. You have to understand that this universe is mental, and God, the all, whatever it is that you want to call the higher intelligence that is behind, everything, you have to understand that the all has given you the ability to create, and that is non-discriminatory. Meaning, if you want to create negative, just go ahead and send out negative thoughts. Keep thinking negative thoughts. Spend the majority of your day worrying and sending out those thought forms. Because guess where they're gonna come? If you send out a thought form and it doesn't reach its intended recipient, it comes right back to you, no matter what it was, and it will manifest itself in some way, shape, or form in your life, and it will hang over you until it manifests itself, or until it's changed. So I I'm gonna dive deeper into thought forms and um give some more clarity on how you can build protection not only for yourself but for others around you, whether it's your kids, your family, whatever the case may be. But we really need to become aware of our thoughts and what we're sending out to people, because the world's getting more sensitive. The earth itself is evolving, herself, whatever, is evolving. And we think that we're not a part of nature, but we are. I love to think about it like this. In a garden, you can have tons of trees, and at a certain point, some of those trees are going to bear fruit, and you can pick those fruit, and whatever the case may be. But the fruit doesn't think of itself as separate from the tree, right? So our planet is evolving. We are a result of our planet, and you can, if a higher level of intelligence being out there from some other planet was just roaming the galaxy, came across our solar system with 8 planets in it, or whatever the case may be, and they see ours, it would be the equivalent of us walking into a garden, seeing a bunch of trees, and then seeing that one tree that has fruit. It's like, oh, this earth is peopling, it has people in it. It's reached a level now where these conscious beings are creators of their world within this planet, and now it's evolving. So these people, the fruit of this planet, are going to hit a higher level of evolution, a higher level of consciousness, if they choose to, if they allow it to happen. And it starts with us being aware of the unseen phenomenon that takes place in this world, and being conscious of what we're doing, when we're doing it, what we're thinking when we're out, what our intent is for other people. Because just because somebody else is an asshole doesn't mean that you have to be. It doesn't. We are alchemists. All of us. All of us. That's why when we're, feeling a certain way, we can turn on music, light a candle, go for a walk, do different stuff to change our mood. What is that? That's alchemy. That's turning something into something else consciously, turning a mood something else consciously. When you control your mood, you control your destiny. So, really just wanted to give a little quick rundown on thought forms. Hopefully you were able to take something from this video. Like I said, we'll dive deeper into the book thought forms. I'll have to go back and get that author. And also check out Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. So it's a great, 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 great read. It's a book that I have read multiple times and probably coming up on another time again where I'm going to read it. But if you're getting anything out of this content, go ahead, like, hit subscribe. I'm just going to keep, trying to help as many people as I can because that's what I'm here to do. So I am the spark. So are you.